slowly making its way across the seafloor.
You know, Bob, I
Ooh.
am not finding that these controls on this camera are doing anything for me. I can zoom, but autofocus, not really.
Well, what about, so you can push in on the
That bottom button, right? That bottom
no,
dial?
the rotary,
Yeah,
the rotary controls, you can push them in. I think it might,
that's what you're supposed to do, but it doesn't seem to be changing
it's not
anything.
doing it.
Yeah. And when I twist it, it doesn't seem to change anything either.
Does it say auto and manual?
It says push autofocus. It says push AF. I think it's autofocus.
So I would think that you know, it should toggle between auto and manual. That thing's a work in progress.
Yeah, no, I think it's not responding to the focus. It's also not responding to iris change either, so I think we're having some difficulty with comms.
I could try,
Power cycle maybe?
yeah. You want to try that?
Sure.
So
I
that,
don't want you to get too far behind though if ship's going.
yeah.
Yeah,
We can do
about
it another
20.
Our
time.
navigator's stretching out his scale there. We got to get going.
Bridge nav, another 30 meters at 135, please.
Sam, are you still pushed in on the camera?
Thank you.
So I wonder if because it's showing that bit of milk crate there, it's messing up the camera.
I don't think so because it would either try and focus on that or try and
Yeah,
focus
so
further out, but
everything's fuzzy.
yeah. What about that lighter streak above the seafloor? Is that from the lights or is that a thing we're seeing?
I think that's Atalanta lights.
Ah,
Yeah.
okay. God, these fairy circles are kind of cool, huh?
Yeah.
Oh, there's the kind of trails I'm more used to in the sediment, like a wiggly little trail there.
Yeah, it definitely looks more like something that we'd see
Like
a mollusk make, or
or
possibly
even the
sea
cucumber.
cucumber.
Yeah,
Yeah, I didn't see any pellets though. That's usually a telltale giveaway with the sea cucumbers.
yeah.
They're little fecal pellets,
Is that a rotating?
which sounds kind of gross, but even in the coral reef, that's how I teach community members how to find sea cucumbers that are hidden. Is you look for their fecal material.
Which is really just clean sand
It is.
when you think about it.
It is. It's probably the cleanest sand out there.
So these other divots are pretty interesting. They're kind of deep, thin, and straight-sided. I haven't seen something like that before.
Bridge nav, another 30 meters at 135, please. Thank you.
A little sea cucumber there.
Dave's back in video.
Hey, Dave. I really wonder what's digging these holes. That doesn't look biological, really. Maybe it's slumping of sediment. Oh my goodness. Something lives in there. Can we look in one of those holes?
Zoom in.
There's a shrimp.
There's a shrimp. He's like, I'm so proud of the work I've done here. Okay, I don't know what that is. It's cool.
Bridge nav, another 30 meters at 135, please.
Nobody home. Or they're back in there.
Thank you.
Oh, wait, what's that up there?
I think that's a leaf, but I do want to see it because, like,
Is that a leaf?
I think I've seen a bunch of leaves, but can we zoom in to
Can you
look?
zoom in? Is this a leaf?
It sure looks like it.
Yeah.
It's a hole-in-one, though, I'll tell you. That leaf falls down 1,500 meters and lands right in that hole.
And says, yes, I made it. All right, I'm good on the leaf.
All right, moving on.
It's not surprising that you see leaves down here when you look at how green and lush the islands are.
I'm going to give you another reset, Robert.
All right.
Getting a little off. There we go.
Starting to see a little bit of relief in the sonar.
Do you guys have any camera on the front row? Do you guys have a camera back where we have the eDNA sampler? I'm a little bit concerned about, looks like we have a little bit of sediment stirring up, and I'm worried about it clogging the filters if we have it running.
You want to fly higher?
Maybe just a little bit.
All right.
I hate to pull us up because I know we want to see what's on the seafloor, but since we've got it on the back of Hercules, let's see how that goes a little better. And if you could give me a heads up if you think we might be stirring up a little bit, that'd be really helpful. And turn off the pumps.
I don't know where that sampler is, but
It's
I don't think we have a camera back there.
yeah, so if we stop and look at something, that's going to stir it up.
Okay.
For just kind of cruising, it'll be pretty good.
All right. Challenges with new equipment getting loaded on here. Thanks.
You can,
Bridge nav, another 30 meters at 135, please. Thank you.
Looks like we have different sizes of rings.
Yeah, what
Uh,
are those rings? So,
No, it's going. We need a bioturbation expert here. Look at these. These are
yeah, I think
really
that what we're
interesting.
seeing is like something that's producing a little mound of sediment, and then a little trough around that fills with organic material. But it does look pretty cool. There's this insect called the antlion, and it makes this little hill in the desert, and when an
Yeah.
ant crawls out, reaches out and grabs it. Well, there's a tiny fish cruising by.
No, it was shot.
So we've come up probably about 50 meters from where we started. We're at 1460 right now. So far we've seen entirely sediment covered seafloor. A few organisms, but not too many. And lots of bioturbation.
Oh, and it looks like we have another, is that another fish?
Yeah, another bathysaur maybe.
It does look like it. Sure.
You want to look at it?
Sure, if we can zoom in, get a little closer. And knows we're looking at it. Says, run away.
I don't want to get close to the seafloor though. If we're going to
Yeah.
stir up the bottom.
All right, we'll keep moving.
He
Let
doesn't
that one
want to
go.
cooperate
Uncooperative fish, worst kind.
So many of them are. I can't tell you how many photos I have of the rear ends of fish running away from me. I've actually gotten really good at identifying the coral reef fish from their caudal fins.
What's this floating here?
It looks like we've got something bigger coming in.
That's
What do we have there?
it's a sea cucumber on the move.
Oh, we have a swimming sea cucumber. I have a friend who specializes in these. So I don't know if we can capture any of this.
Zoom in, Dave.
And this one's such a beautiful color.
We're stirring up the bottom again.
Yeah. Why don't you go pause the pumps over there for a
Rage,
moment.
rage nav. Another 30 meters at 135, please.
Oh God.
Thank you.
Johan, where are we in this ship move?
We are just approaching waypoint 2 now.
Okay. Wonder if we might, instead of going in the direction of waypoint 3, go towards that relief off to the port side?
Yeah. Yeah, we can definitely do that. bridge nav. Can we actually cancel that chip move and move 30 meters at 045, please? All right, so the ship's gonna, well, Atalanta's gonna still settle a little more this way, but we're starting to move northeast.
So we got any questions coming in?
Yes, yes. So there's one question that says, how does the name of the expedition that we're in, Imamano Ngataifale, ties into the work that we are doing? So the title Imamano Ngataifale, which translated to "Your oceans are powerful" in English, has a deep connection to the Nautilus expedition in American Samoa. This phrase encapsulates the reverence and acknowledgement of the ocean immersed power and significance, which is the central to the mission and focus of the Nautilus explorations. The titles also resonates with the cultural beliefs of the Samoan people, who have a profound respect for the ocean as a source of life, substance, and spiritual connections. The phrase reflects the understanding that the ocean is a powerful
045.
force that shapes the environment and the lives of those who depend on it. And for sure, that can be an explanation of why we named this expedition Imamano Ngataifale, which is um, your oceans are powerful.
That's cool. Yeah, and I think that the name came through a collaboration with the National Marine Sanctuary of American Samoa and the folks at Ocean Exploration Trust. And as time goes on, I will give a shot at the pronunciation. Imamano Katafale.
Yeah,
Yeah,
Ngataifale. Yeah.
Katefale. All right. So for folks following along at home, we had a plan for this particular dive that takes us directly up this ridge, but we noticed in the vehicle sonar some interesting relief that was off to the port side of the vehicle. So we're kind of deviating from our initial plan to go over and take a look. As I mentioned before, when you have relief on the seafloor, it's often a place where you find concentrations of organisms.
Bridge nav, another 20 meters at 045, please. Thank you.
One of the things you can't really tell from watching the feed is that the ROV has some freedom of movement, but not entirely. You know, it has to wait for the ship above to move and Atalanta to move with the ship, and then it can kind of has a freedom movement within a certain radius around that. So sometimes we'll pause, you know, especially when we ask the ship to change its direction a little bit for the Atalanta vehicle to start moving in that direction so we can follow.
Yeah, I apologize for if I interrupt anyone in the future, but it takes a while for any ship movement to be reflected with Atalanta. How that movement transfers down the cable, about 1,500 meters in this case. So it's good for our timing so that we're not just sitting still on the seafloor to kind of do that when it's necessary.
Oh yeah, for sure. A little floating shrimp.
Hmm.
Bridge nav, another 15 meters at 045, please. Copy, thank you.
Johan, do you know what the graduations on those two sonar screens are?
The one on the left, which is Atalanta, is a 20-meter division between each ring, and on the right, Hercules is 10 meters.
Mm-hmm. Thank you.
So Adam, do you mind if I ask some questions? Yeah, because it's our first dive for this expedition, and to me it looks like w clear white sand
Yeah,
way on the bottom. Is
yeah.
that like similar to other previous dives that you guys went to on other part of the oceans?
Yeah, this is not unusual for the Pacific Ocean and really all oceans. That, you know, as we went down through the water column, you saw that kind of white material kind of floating at us. All of that settles down to the seafloor and builds up this layer of sediment. And you know, two things can contribute to that. One is the productivity of the ocean above, how many organisms are living and thriving there, and the other is how old the seafloor is. So the longer the seafloor has been, you know, as it is, the more sediment can accumulate there. Um, this is typically what you'll see in flat areas of seafloor, where sediment can accumulate and currents aren't very strong. But as we get up this slope, I expect we'll get into more areas of the underlying rock that we can see, which in the case of American Samoa is going to be volcanic rock. So basically the basalt that the islands are made of continues all the way down to the seafloor. The islands all started on the seafloor and grew upwards as the volcanoes that make them up grew. And now I think we're getting to our first kind of outcrop of that rock up ahead of us.
Thank you, Adam, for the response.
Yeah, you bet.
What is that?
Yeah, we're gonna see coming up here. It's peeking into the view. Oh my goodness. It is a beautiful pile of pillows.
And not the soft kind.
Not the soft kind. So lava that erupts in the ocean often forms this kind of morphology called pillows, and they form because the hot lava is coming out and the cold seawater is quenching it, and as that crust forms, pretty soon it can't move any further and it breaks out into a new little bulb of lava that cools, and this continues over and over, and it builds up these stacks of what people call pillows because they're, I guess they kind of look like pillows. I don't know. But this is literally the most common rock type on planet Earth. Most of the Earth's rock surface is covered by this rock because it covers all the ocean basins. Oh, and we got a coral as well.
I was going to say, we've got some benthic organisms on this as well. Looks.
I feel like we're kind of cheating because we're seeing a little ahead of
I know,
what the
we have
folks at home are, but
we have a preview.
I don't know where we are in this move, Johan, but we probably want to sit down here for a second.
We are holding position, so
Awesome.
that's perfect.
You might
Oh,
want
we've
to
got
secure those pumps as well.
Well, we actually want to pick up whatever is here
Okay.
too. So let me
What is that?
keep an eye on it.
Looks like we got coral, which is that pink one, and a sponge, which is the white one or the cream colored one.
Oh, that's
Now I'm gonna try and figure out what they are, but it's really not my strongest area. Oh, I got it. One of our deep sea biologists, Megan, made us this handy guide.
Sponge is tall.
So that is a very tall sponge. See the connection there. So sponges are generally filter feeders. They have small pores all over them. That's why they're called the porifera. So they're filtering out material from the water. This one is quite large. I'm currently not finding anything that's quite matching up in our guides for this.
The coral kind of looks like a bubblegum
I'm
coral.
having a hard time getting in here without running into this thing. So.
Yeah.
Which is bubblegum. Is that a Paramuricidae? No, that's the wrong page.
Oh. Oh.
Oh, and that you can see a couple associates in there.
Yeah, it looks like we have a couple of sea stars that are inside of that sponge.
Let me get planted. Yeah, I can't get in there. The thing's too tall.
Okay.
Running into it.
Oh, there's more spots around the other side there with corals on them.
This is better.
That's beautiful.
Esteban, can you control the camera? Again, I'm getting too close to it. Okay, it's on the hydraulic page. See the HD camera up and down, tilt right. You want just center it up.
Yeah, so you can see that coral has a big sea star living in it,
Are you on it?
curled around the branches. Looks like a really healthy coral. You see the base of it is white, and that's the peduncle. That's the place it attaches to the rock. And some of the lower branches look like some of the living tissue
We're
has
bumping
died
into this
off, but
dang thing again.
most of it is nice bright pink, and the associates in it are not there predating it. And in some cases they are, but in this case it's something that is happy to live alongside the coral. It gives it a nice spot to get off the seafloor and filter feed.
much in our face here. All right. Let's look for something else.
Yeah, there's all around this
Mhm.
this mound. There's seems to be corals growing on it.
How are we situated for Niskin collections?
I think we have to be. Oh, you know,
Or is it,
it's gonna be tough with the manipulator.
that was my question.
Yeah,
Okay, so
yeah,
that's going to be out.
yeah. Oh, and there's
Ooh,
a nice
we've got a nice
anemone.
anemone up there on the left. These are one of my favorites. They look so much like a Venus flytrap.
Mm-hmm.
And is that a crinoid
Yeah,
just above it?
looks like a crinoid.
Oh, you steered us into some really good stuff here, Adam. Thank you, team, for getting us over here to this harder substrate. Getting to see some cool benthic organisms.
You can zoom in as you like there, Dave. Freeform.
Oh, look at
Yeah.
that.
Oh, very pretty.
And
Oh,
even
and there's
some smaller ones
that's
there.
octocoral or a cup coral.
Good eye.
Every time I identify an organism, I lose geology points, though, so I have to be careful.
Maybe they'll give you a pass for today since you're helping me get oriented here. Look at that.
Can't really say how old this seafloor is, but it is not new lava. This is probably some pretty old stuff. Oh yeah, look at that.
Beautiful.
Kind of reminds me of cherry blossoms, you know.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Adam, any name explanation for this one?
What type of coral it is?
Yeah, yes, please.
Oh, yeah, of course, man. Don't take it to the bank, though. See, I think we might be looking at a plexaurid. Ooh. So I can kind of tell bamboo corals. This doesn't look like a bamboo coral.
No.
Yeah, let's go plexaurid for now. And then we'll let someone correct that later. Fix it in post. Can you laser that for just a moment?
Yep.
All right, so those lasers are 10 centimeters. And so that thing is like a meter top to bottom. That's pretty awesome. And so these are like super slow growing animals, right? So that could be 100 or more years old to get to that size. And we're going to ask Val to validate this. Val, the validator. Is it colonial animals where it's like a lot of
They are.
organisms together? Yeah.
That's correct. So each little individual polyp on this is an individual animal, and they're all together to form these colonies. So the individual coral itself is one polyp, so each of those little tiny little cups with tentacles on it as a single animal. They all live together. They're exact copies of each other too, which is fascinating to me.
What's going on here?
Yeah, that one's
Zoom in,
having
Dave.
some predation by hydroids, I think. So
Can we zoom in, Dave?
yeah, so I think those are hydroids. They
I think so.
take over some of the coral skeleton. So that the part that's pink is healthy and alive. The part that looks like it has white danglies uh, is a dead part of the coral that the hydroids have taken over. The sea star there doesn't really care. It's just looking for a place to get off the, or up in the current and filter feed. Really pretty. You can see that kind of, the linear features in these pillows that look like, they're like little columnar joints in the pillow, so it cools from the outside inwards and makes these polygonal fractures. So by seeing the orientation of those columns, you can tell where the outside of the pillow is, although in this case it's probably not too hard to tell anyway.
I can't tell if those other things are dead corals or possibly sponges sticking out the kind of single
Yeah, they looked a little bit more
columns.
like sponges to me, but that was more like a vibes thing than a actual
Yeah,
identification.
yeah, the one that we had a close-up on looked a little more like a sponge.
So that one off to the right, that looks like a dead sponge. That kind of, they get kind of brownish colored.
Yeah. Sorry to distract you from your rocks.
Oh no, it's fine. I could go on too long about the rocks if you don't distract me.
Oh, we have another anemone up on the top.
It does look like a Venus flytrap. Oh gosh, seeing the basalt though just kind of like makes me relax. Like, oh, there's rocks here.
When we have one of our folks online, one of our experts, a scientist ashore, has been providing some information here. Sorry, I missed that. Said it's not hydroids that were attacking the coral, it was a zoanthid.
Zoanthid, yes. Who was
This
mentioning
is
that on
Asako.
Asako. Oh, she saved my hide so many times. She knows this stuff backwards and forwards. So I'm so glad you're on, Asako. Yeah, so those are dead sponges there in the foreground. Well, they kind of look like dinosaur bones.
And we also on the corals, she says it's coral is corallidae, not plexarids.
Really? Oh, coral, isn't that like precious coral? That's cool.
Oh, this is lovely. Look at all the variation we have here. Got crinoids, corals, sponges. What else do we see here?
Yeah, this is awesome. I mean, it's pretty cool. First time anyone has ever seen this spot on planet Earth.
Oh, you just gave me goosebumps, Adam.
Mm.
Kind of cool to think about.
That's also the air conditioners really blasting, so they could be
Oh
doing
my God, it is. It's ridiculous.
Very true. Very true.
Oh, we're going uphill.
Looks like we might have a sea cucumber up there on the left, one of the ones we've seen before.
Yeah.
It just gave us a little wave, I think. Moved just a little bit. As the lights hit it.
Waving like a flag.
Oh, we've got something a little larger up in
Yeah,
the
it's a
top there.
big sponge.
Oh, it's fascinating.
It's got an anemone and a bunch of crinoids on it. It's a beautiful structure. The sponges are
Wow.
like unreal.
It's amazing how these corals and sponges provide habitat for so many other organisms down here in the deep sea. And this is a great example of that. You can see we've got crinoids and anemones stacked up on top of the structure, and it almost looks unreal, like something you'd see in a Dr. Seuss book or
Yeah.
something. Oh, that's gorgeous.
Yeah, that's highlight reel material right there. And look at that anemone. It's
I
got,
think it's a different species than the ones we saw before. It's got more perturbations on the back side of it.
yeah, it's like a toasted marshmallow.
Can tell we're all getting hungry. It's getting late. Got the midnight munchies.
Ooh, and there's a new
Ooh.
There's a one.
coral. There's like a, geez, I know I've seen it before, and I'll try it, but Osco's there to help me. Dang.
Oh, this,
Want to zoom in, Dave?
thank you. That's beautiful. And I'm not seeing it in our guide from American Samoa.
I know I've seen this one before,
I've definitely
but
seen
I don't
it.
get any points for that. I don't know what it is. Steve Oskovich is just shaking his head in dismay that I didn't learn it. Oh, it's a bamboo coral.
Bamboo coral, that's for sure.
Yeah. I remember this being controversial in like, or at least diagnostic in how the little branches form. Like if they form in the middle of the bamboo thing or at the junctions. Ooh, way to
Okay,
focus, Dave.
we've got some folks coming online. We've got Sako saying bamboo, but we've got maybe it looks like some other folks might be taking a look at it here.
Nice.
Beautiful.
Is fan coral a thing? Anybody remember hearing that before? This kind of looks like a fan. It looks like lots of tiny hands.
Okay, here we go. We've got
Oh,
Steve weighing
Oh,
in.
thank God, Steve, saving me.
So I'm going to butcher this. Keratoisidae.
Oh yeah, Keratoisidae.
Recently described. So there's a recent article Tridentisis candelabrum.
Candelabrum, that's a
That
great name for
candelabram's
it.
really perfect
Ooh,
for
and
that,
then,
isn't it?
is that a whip coral?
It does look like a whip coral, so probably an octocoral there. Wow,
Steve
we're
wasn't
seeing
even
so much
watching.
variation here. I had
No,
no
yeah, he's
idea.
He just felt a disturbance in the force.
exactly.
Hi, Steve.
What a great spot.
Do you want me to bump a little closer to you, Robert?
Okay.
Or come
Yep.
along the ridge?
I'm happy to follow this for a while, if you don't mind going that way.
Copy. Bridge nav. Can we have a ship move of 15 meters at 330, please?
Need to shake that lump
Copy,
off of
thank
there.
you.
Oh,
Not going to set any speed record here, is it?
So as we're conducting this maneuver, I will talk about the rocks some more. So these, the Samoan archipelago is formed on top of a hotspot or mantle plume called the Samoan hotspot. And as the crust, the tectonic plate passes over the hotspot, volcanoes form in this particular location, and they grow from the seafloor all the way up till they become big islands. And then as the plate continues to move, the islands move off of the mantle plume, and those volcanoes die, and new ones form in that spot. And so the islands of American Samoa are no longer really active volcanoes, although there have been eruptions on island of Ta'u in the past 1,000 years. And the islands start to subside because the crust is cooling off and they start to erode, and big sections of the island kind of slump down into the sea. The newest, or the next island is kind of represented by the seamount Wailu'u, which we'll go to later in the expedition. It's currently active volcano, has been erupting over the past 15 years. These islands are probably 1 million to 2 million years old, and we're getting a look at kind of some of the interior parts of the island, you know, where this cliff used to
What is that? I get stuck on there.
who put their gum on the porch?
Anyway.
This ridge was, you know, is part of the island, but has started to kind of slump down in the sea. That's why we had this big cliff of pillows, probably extended further out into the ocean in the past. And now we get a look at a cross-section into this volcanic feature that's made up of, who knows, dozens of individual eruptions that produced lava flows on the seafloor. And we know they erupted underwater because they have the distinctive pillow morphology.
Like a little smoke bomb there. Yeah. Oh, you didn't move very much, did ya?
No, it didn't settle as far as I kind of didn't move as much as the ship did.
Give it the beans. I can find something back the other way, maybe.
Bob, you can secure the lasers if they're giving you any trouble.
Yeah, what do we got for ground fault now? 800K.
Bridge nav, 10 meters at 350, please. Thank you.
Oh, it's Crinoid City in there.
A lot of stuff running
Wow, yeah.
those crinoids look like they don't move, but they do. They're really beautiful swimmers.
You want to zoom in here, Dave?
I would suggest this is a good place for them to filter feed, that they've all moved and settled over here. So
Yeah, they look happy.
means there must be something good happening here, filtering up, carrying particles for them.
Ooh,
You come down.
Yeah, there's
that is a...
Kind of yanking on me. You can come down pretty far. When you're stretched out like that, you can get down pretty low. No, if it's stretched out, you can come down pretty low. And a lot of times we get really good shots that way, especially like I'm on a ridge. If you come down, you can come down almost to my level, and then Dave can zoom in the camera too on Atalanta. Some of the best views are doing that. So
Yeah, that's a cool shot on the Atalanta cam.
So you're kind of waiting around here for the...
yeah, we're just he
Bridge,
didn't make
bridge
enough
nav.
of a ship move. So,
Yeah, that's fine.
15 meters
and,
due north, please.
you know, I think we got to change of watch here.
No, we got time, but
Thank you.
I do see a bunch of loose rocks on the top of that ridge.
Oh, you want to rock
I want to rock
with the slow-mo arm?
with the slow-mo arm.
It's going to be painful.
I know, but we got to get something. Come
Yeah.
up with an empty basket. That's no good.
Let's see if it's still brokey. It's been pretty consistently broke, though. You ready? I can just do it.
Okay.
Yeah, still broke. Well, that's good in a way, because now I have something to try
Hope
and
it's
fix.
going.
Woo.
Oh yeah, that's interesting.
So craft has been consistently screwed up.
To this one? No, the second one. Sorry. Hmm?
Oh, okay. So there's the comms are back, but you have already had to kill. But you just kill the. You have to kill the valve in order to get it to not poke the eye out, so you don't get to use the fact that the comms are back.
No.
You never get to use it. Okay. Do you think? So do you think that's a problem in the topside controller, or in the board in the? Gotcha. Okay.
Yes, I got you loud and clear. Yeah, take your time. It always takes a few minutes to get this all, to get a sense of what's going on. Not to mention at the beginning of the cruise. It doesn't always listen. So like, see how it doesn't match up right now? Green and gray. You can just give it a little wiggle and it should try again. But maybe not. Yeah, okay. Okay, so our view setup right now is dive special, which means your butt cams are down here and they're reversed. We can switch it if you want. Science is gonna like this one because it gives us upper there. So, you know, if you start to, yeah, yeah, yeah. And then, so I've got Hercules right in front of me, upper, that's lower. And you know that view, right? That's looking out from right on the left-hand side of the porch.
Gabby, I've been unable to focus that
The
lower cam, yeah.
Okay, let me take a look here. I can do a power cycle on it.
Yeah, it might be worthwhile. We were going to do it when we had a chance to stop, but we haven't done
Okay,
it yet.
cool. Yeah, I'll do a power cycle on it. Oh, it's in your favorite view mode there. Adam, are you sticking around because you want to choose a rock?
That and my relief isn't here, so.
Okay. Do you have?
Yeah.
What are your constraints rock-wise here?
So, you know, size is an issue, I suppose. I like that, like
Okay.
that. I want
Okay.
something easy for you to grab because
Yeah.
it's
I think this is going to be an area that we're going to have encrusting issues, right? Where like things that look like they're loose are actually going to be stuck.
yeah,
Is that true?
which is yes. So it's a little bit of a bummer because poking is not going to be a quick process.
Right. However, it does get easier. Like with a little bit of practice. So we'll see what we can do.
Okay. It just moves slow, the craft.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, it definitely moves slow. Okay, I'm going to come in and land. Raya, are you comfortable with your situation? Can you get me the red and green? So go up to here, do type of URL starts with Raspberry Pi, not URL, Raspberry Pi. There you go, just press enter. And then get me, click dashboards. And we want Herc data. That's the one. Okay. Okay. So I'm going to perch on this little ledge here, and we're going to start poking around. And ideally, I have you do operate that left-hand arm. It's the thing. learning it is a little tricky, but I haven't done a ton of it either. We're basically both in the same sort of situation when it comes to that arm. So it looks like, Adam, that you're still having trouble focusing lower. Is that true?
Yes, I'm trying the push to autofocus, doesn't seem to have much effect, and it doesn't respond to the twisting of the knob.
Okay. We have comms with that camera.
Okay.
So I don't really know what else to try right now. I'll have to think about it.
And the zoom works. That part works.
Yes, the zoom does work. Oh, nice. We've got a loose rock here. This one's quite large, though.
That one looks huge.
Yeah.
Well, that means that the other ones are probably loose.
Could be.
Adam, do you want ones that have basalt in the middle or just the crust? Are you interested in?
No, the basalt in the middle.
Okay. This little plate feature is interesting. You see the overhang?
Yeah, that might be just kind of indurated sediment rather than...
Okay, so arm is on the hydraulics page. So get yourself comfortable Atalanta-wise. And that looks good. Yeah, cool. We'll get you a few views. So one of the really nice views of that arm is upper. That's like really good situational awareness, but I can also get you this view. And when you're operating this arm, because it's probably easiest if I operate this camera, so you can tell me move left, pan left, do, whatever. I'm at your beck and call there. So each of the joints have a name. You can just start using stuff and figure it out. Or I can give you cues for your first few moves to tell you what to do. Okay. Okay. Nope. It can move anywhere. So your first move is going to be elbow up. Your stretching out is going to be elbow up and shoulder down. Hold it down to keep it going.
Simon didn't say.
Okay, great. So your next move is actually going to be azimuth right. So Adam, that's a great question. Adam, which rock are we going for?
Yeah,
on
this particular move, I would say whatever's easiest for Rye would be great with me. So there's that flatty one that looks like Australia.
That looks like Australia.
The squarish one.
Okay.
There we go.
That's a stretch, but okay. No, I'm kidding. Okay, cool. Yeah, that's a good start.
Use your imagination.
Australia.
Doesn't it not look like Australia?
It looks like
I'm
a
getting
shamrock.
the U.S.
Really?
Yeah.
Where's Florida? I do see Texas.
Yeah, I don't
Florida's
know.
underwater now.
Okay.
Oof. Well, getting dark here. The whole thing's underwater. Okay, so azimuth right again.
Yeah.
So you know your azimuth now.
Yeah.
And you know which joint elbow is.
Yeah.
So shoulder down.
I see. Okay.
There you go. So now you have the things you need to stretch out.
Yeah.
Now I'm going to teach you another one, which is you're going to forearm roll clockwise.
Okay.
That's counterclockwise.
Sorry.
I'm like,
Stand by.
There you go. Okay. So the next one that's a little bit tricky
Yeah.
is pitch in. So pitch is your wrist joint. And yeah, there you go. So
I
when you
see.
pitch in, that's like this like bicep thing,
Yeah,
this
okay.
bicep curl. Now, because your forearm can rotate 360 degrees, pitch in can mean all kinds of things as far
Yeah.
as the actual kinematics of the arm are concerned.
Right.
But I always try and think of the arm, it helps me to think of the arm like an arm, even though it's got a lot more functionality than our arm, because that's sort of like a bicep. If you put it in this mode, we call this crane mode.
'Kay.
But there's a bunch of different ways to operate that sort of bicep area of the arm. So to get your arm out towards that rock to give it a poke to see if it's actually going to be free, it's going to be a series of elbow up, shoulder down, elbow up, shoulder down, and then you can make some final adjustments with your forearm. So now you have the basics, and you might need to do an azimuth right. And we don't have a great way to do several functions at once, but you will get more efficient at this. This is not,
That's not very intuitive.
yeah. So, and then look at your upper cam whenever you're sort of like need a little bit more of a view.
I feel like this would be a good job for a joystick.
What do you guys have to run yours?
We have
Do you have two positional arms, or do you have a right arm?
So our right arm is the Orion with the master slave unit.
Yeah.
And then the left arm has joystick. It doesn't have as many functions as this one.
Oh, interesting. Okay.
But the functions are put on the joystick, so pushing out will
Yeah.
arm out.
It's kind of
and
like
then-
operating an
And
excavator.
but then you pull the trigger, and then it'll open. And then
Yeah.
you close the trigger, and then it'll pitch forward again.
That's a lot
And
like
then
how
you
you
can
run an
azimuth-
excavator. Yeah.
Exactly. So it's a little more intuitive.
Yeah, go for it. See what you can do to get to where you're going.
Oh, there's the...
Yeah, do your thing. I've only operated this arm a few
Yeah,
times.
that's right, but I
and,
can't
so you're
get
gonna
it
be
into focus.
So it's a pretty big rock. So I might consider if you were actually, when you poke it, it's free. So first go for the poke, which you can probably do just with a shoulder down. If you can't see it with the shoulder down, you can catch the rock from the side. Yeah, that's great. And actually try like a pitch out. Yeah, and that will nudge the rock. Okay, that one's very stuck.
Yeah, it's pretty stuck.
It's a nice size though, so this arm's actually strong enough to break things free. So we can give it a try if you can get the jaws on the edge, underneath the edge. If it's just a little bit stuck, we might be able to get it.
I feel like I can see a shadow underneath.
Yeah, same. Okay, shoulder up a little bit, just to get yourself at, you're a little bit stuck on the rock right now. Great, and now elbow up a little bit. A little more. We're gonna try and get the jaws on the edge there. Yeah. Okay, now shoulder down. And elbow up and shoulder, yeah. There we go. And now let's try elbow down.
Oh yeah, I know.
And it's
really
okay that
stuck.
it's moving the vehicle a little bit. Yeah, go for it. Give it another go.
I don't think it's moving.
No dice.
No dice.
Elbow down. Yeah. Okay. No dice. Okay.
It looked promising.
Yeah, it did. Okay. So do you understand how to get out of the situation you're in? Perfect. Yeah. Just a couple moves, and then we can pan around with the video and see.
We're decently shallow here, and you think this might be reef? Like old reef?
Okay.
Um,
I'm gonna pan
The
so that we
flat
can look a
pieces?
little.
Or do you
could
think
be
it's
that
still...
what we've come up is all pillows, so it was all erupted
Oh,
submarine.
okay. Maybe it's an ash
Okay,
flow?
so these,
Yeah,
Adam, can you point out
yeah.
anything you might want in view? Or we can,
No, I don't think there's anything in view that's
okay.
ideal. Can you maybe zoom out a little bit?
What about this, like,
Are we
dinosaur
zoomed all
head
the way
guy?
wide?
I can zoom out
Video?
just a little bit more.
Okay.
Oh, okay.
That is as far
I'll
back.
pick up and we can look around a little bit more.
Okay.
Do you pitch forward with the arm out like that?
Do I pop? Probably. Yeah, I've used the arms for ballast before to get like little bits of lean here and there. Okay, so let's see. We can leave the arm out a little bit just so it just saves us a little bit of time. What about, there's a bunch of rubble up ahead, Adam. Do you see what I'm looking at here?
Yeah, I'm not sure. You see that, well, that long cigar-shaped one, but that is probably huge, isn't it?
Can you point? Just telestrator like crazy and that'll help. Okay, I'll take a look. Yeah, Megan, you can see pitch right here. So it looks like I'm flying at like -2.
Okay.
With the arm out in front.
That's not terrible.
I mean, we definitely like to be pitched forward a bit. It just sort of helps with operating on the porch.
That makes sense.
Oh, see what I thought was a cigar is actually a
it's
plate.
actually like a plate, yeah.
Oh, maybe one of those like Three Stooges over there.
Oh,
Yeah,
Three Stooges.
yeah.
Oh, yeah, we can definitely look at the Three Stooges. It may be the center stooge.
We got some nice bamboo coral, a little anthomastus, a Nevada carcinus.
Oh, I missed you last watch.
Oh my gosh.
Megan, so we saw something and I was like, oh, Steve Oskovich is going to kill me for not remembering what this is. And then he wrote in.
Oh, really?
It's this.
I love that. Oh, there's a Chrysogorgia right there. They blend in so well. So hard to see
Where
them.
do you see that?
Right where it's touching the arm right now.
Can you shoulder up?
Oh, yeah, I see. And then there's,
Let me get out of there.
what's that one? Is that a mushroom coral, that soft coral there?
Yeah, you're right.
Awesome.
You got it.
See, Steve, I did it.
Elbow down. And shoulder up more. Yeah, because this is steeper here.
Oh, there's a cute little crab. I think it was one of the carrier crabs.
Oh my gosh, those are so cool with the anemone on the
Yeah,
back.
they're so fun.
They're very proud of their anemones. and different ones hold different things.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
By
some of
by
the
like
Okay.
other
species?
some of the other species like to hold corals or sponges.
Oh, interesting.
Yeah.
Okay. Center stooge. No, you're doing great. This arm is,
That
we don't
looks
have the
really
greatest
challenging.
control setup for this arm. It's definitely good. It's definitely a good piece of equipment. It just takes a little bit of practice, like everything up here.
It'd be nice if you had one of the little manip guys for it.
Yeah, I mean, this one's not set up to ever operate with like a topside controller like the Craft, just because
Yeah.
it's a rate arm. It's really like just a bunch of solenoid valves, but you can still get quite a bit of capability out of it.
Mm-hmm.
It helps when you can do two functions at once.
Yeah,
See if you can
that would
get
help.
a little bit under, like a jaw underneath it a little bit.
The front side or the back side?
You can open the jaws. You can also rotate the jaws.
Do the jaws free rotate or do they only go so far?
The jaws will go all the way around. So there's actually wrist roll. Mary, I heard you say something about condensation on the fiber, which makes me really sad.
Yeah.
That is correct, I'm afraid. It looks like we might have the optic signal blocked. And we do have some higher humidity in the instrument as well. So let me know if you get any ground faults or anything showing up from Sage.
Okay, I will. Oh, that stinks. What do you think about, did you do a nitrogen backfill?
It's vacuum pumped, the housing is. So the only way it would have got in is through the membrane.
Oh, man.
That's pretty stuck.
Yeah, it's a shame.
That stinks. And that's on the CO2 or the methane?
That is the CO2, Sage.
No. All stuck. Yeah, go for it. Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna go anywhere. I think it's part of
Nice.
that other.
Nice job, though. Good, like, though this is a thing about operating here and trying to get rocks here is that they tend to be encrusted. And then you have to fight this battle, and some of them you can break free. Okay. Yeah. Nice job. What about right below your jaws? Yeah, right down on the screen.
Check 1, 2.
Is it?
So let's see.
Here.
Mm.
It's only an issue if it's an issue. So one thing you have to think about when you're doing these too is like your shadow, which isn't so bad. If you start to shadow something too much, you can actually ask video to open up the iris and it'll brighten up the patch that you're in. And yeah, she's standing by for that if you need it.
Yep, ready for you if you need.
It's, you know, when you're taking a sample and if you need it, then ask for it. And if it's not working if like science or video needs it to be some other way, you can have a conversation about it. But this is, as it stands, Herc Zeus is an operational camera as well as being a science camera. There you go.
Wow, let's go.
Adam, what do you think about this little rock?
I'll take it.
Sweet. Okay.
It's so wee.
Adam, are you not able to focus either upper or lower?
So at least on the little device I have here,
Uh-huh.
there doesn't seem to be a separate focus tool
Okay.
for the two different cameras. So it's a one focus option, and
Oh,
no,
interesting.
Oh,
Okay.
it's
that's
just not
weird.
responding on the focus.
Okay. Do you have NDI tools? That's the software and NDI tools up in front of you?
No.
Okay.
Oh, no, maybe I do. Stand by.
Hey, Gabby, I have a question that just came in.
Yeah, absolutely.
Is there a robot? Is the robot arm responsive immediately when you touch the joystick, or is there a lag?
There should be very, very little lag. The robot arm is at the end of a whole lot, 7,000 meters of fiber optics. So all of our signals travel to the robot arm essentially at the speed of light. So there's very, very little latency. Try pitch out and then bring the rest of the arm in so that you're coming in perpendicular to the hillside. So that means a shoulder up and an elbow down.
Oh, yeah.
And you can probably give yourself a bit more pitch out. And I mean,
Oh, so I do it on this one.
and see what you can do there. You may have to elbow in and then shoulder down. Nope, that happens. That absolutely happens. And
It's
then
hard
I
to-
would give yourself a jaw rotate clockwise. A wrist rotate, I should say. There you go. And azimuth right. Yeah, try the grab. Beautiful. Ooh,
Oh,
crumbly.
it wasn't a real
You will
rock.
definitely have that. It was not what we hoped it would be. Okay. Okay, get out of there. And we have to keep...
you want to live to fight another day and look for another one later on? Or
it's definitely up to you. We can
yeah,
keep looking around here.
Given that looked like a nice rock but turned out to be a not, let's bail out.
Okay, sounds good. So you're going to stow that.
I'll keep my eye out for rocks.
Yeah, we've got Megan on this watch.
We're at the top of a big cliff of rocks, so we'll see plenty, I'm sure.
So you want something that looks like it might have fragmented
You're
off.
going to go all the way
Nice good basalt
shoulder
middle.
up.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Not all the way azimuth left, but like a good amount azimuth left till you're pointing forwards, or that's great right there. And then you're going to go all the way elbow down. And I like to store arms with the jaws closed so they don't snag on things. There you go. Beautiful. Nice job. That will get a lot faster, and we can also increase its speed a little bit too when you're like for the next time. And the fun part gets when we actually get a rock and you have to put it in the front box. Unfortunately, you can't get it in the starboard box from over there.
Hey,
That
Adam,
would be impressive.
Can you do
I
a
have
round
a
of
question
gauges?
that's coming in.
Oh.
What are you hoping to find from collecting the rock?
Oh, yeah, so mainly we'd like to know the chemical composition of the rock so that we can understand how these islands are built and especially how they relate to the source of the magma in the mantle. So this is an area that is actually kind of crisscrossed by different hotspot tracks. And we have good information from the surface of the island, but kind of the history of the island is better recorded in the ocean, where we can look more into the interior.
That's pretty cool that you're able to get all that information just by looking at the rock. And
Yeah, and there's a whole kind of group of scientists who follow along with these expeditions who help with those chemical analyses. But also I just, that each, as you kind of
Where are we
indicated,
going?
each rock tells a story. So you got to kind of
So
read
we've got
it.
two choices. We could keep kind of crabbing along
Cool,
this
thanks.
contour
Uh-huh.
and looking at this little shelf. And that's what they were doing. Or we can start going back up slope.
Okay, Adam, which would you prefer?
Why don't we head up slope?
Okay, we can head up slope. That will be, I think we were moving at 135 before.
Okay, love it. It's a great bearing.
Mm-hmm.
Gabby, did you have any advice on what to do with NDI tools when I got that fired up?
I don't know it very well. I think poke around a little bit. That should be... I don't know if that
Bridge
has
nav.
any access to the camera itself.
Yeah.
It might just be access to the video stream. Yeah, NDI tools, now that I think about it, might just be access to the video stream, but it
Okay.
wouldn't hurt to look at a few menus and see if there's anything that looks like it talks to the cameras.
Yeah.
Why would neither of them be focusing properly? That's really bizarre.
You want to look at that sponge?
Yes, I do. Where is it?
It is off to the right at the top of the screen. Right in the corner
Okay.
right now.
Oh, yeah, yeah.
Looks like a Walteria. Oh, there's a bunch of sponges.
Oh, yeah, because that's the edge.
Yep, they like the edge.
It's a good place to be a sponge.
Mm-hmm. Nice current acceleration. All the good stuff happens right here. And sometimes there's little shrimps that live inside these sponges. And then they go in there when they're babies. And then they live there their entire lives together.
Go for Zoom video. We're
Going
looking
for
at this
Zoom.
sponge.
Perfect.
Nice. There's good. Beauty. You can go in a little bit tighter.
A little tighter.
So the sponge is called Walteria.
Oh, I think I see the shrimp inside.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, I see it too.
And there's a brittle star in there and something else.
Let's see if we can find out.
It might just be brittle stars. I don't know what the yellow thing is.
Looks like nature made nets before humans did.
Yeah.
Yeah, it is really cool. It's this like lattice work, like a broad lattice.
Mm-hmm. So there's a bunch of different species of the sponge, and some of them have this lattice work where it's really square, and then there's
Okay,
ones
go
that
wide.
have like flesh in between, so
wide.
it's like little windows that are rounded.
Okay.
And then those other like kind of plate-like sponges that were over on the edge are Tretopleura. Oh, there's a hole.
That's wild.
Yeah, we've been seeing a lot of these.
Okay.
Haven't seen anything inside of them, but some of them looks really hard to tell if it's biologically produced or not.
I don't think it's biological.
It's like a cave-in.
A little collapse, yeah.
Yeah. That's
Cool.
wild.
Yeah, that's cool.
It'd be better if there was like a giant something in there.
Or it just reaches out right now.
Okay.
Yeah.
So when we're heading, what's the heading you gave?
135.
135? Okay. Video, are we full wide?
Yes, we are full wide.
Okay.
And there's a nematocarcinus, the long-legged shrimp. Ooh, can we look at this black fuzzy?
Yes,
I
black
think
fuzzy.
it's a Syriantharid, type of tube anemone. Anemone.
Go for zoom video.
Going for zoom.
Good there.
Yeah.
Stopping there.
So it is a Syriantharid. They live in these like little paper tubes
Cool.
that they make in the sediment. And they look like regular anemones, but the main character is that they have a set of smaller tentacles ringing around the mouth.
Okay.
So you can kind of see that little paper tube at the base there.
Nice. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Okay, go wide video.
Going wide.
And so just like the Christmas tree worms. Oh, look, there's a little guy. He's running away.
Oh, yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, they'll suck. Like if we try to collect it, it would just go shook into the tube.
Oh, cool. The anemone or the...
The anemone.
Yeah. Oh, neat.
I think the other thing was a hermit crab that
Okay.
was kind of loping away.
We definitely have current heading upslope.
Is it easier to go into the current?
The current is, it's not impactful.
Okay.
It's not an issue. It's just, it just exists.
I see. Looks like a lot of sediment, so I'll make a larger move. Bridge nav. Can we do a 40-meter move, 135 at 0.2 knots? 35. Yes, thank you. Ooh, what's in that hole? There's something in the hole.
Go for zoom video.
Going for zoom.
What's
Hey,
this?
buddy.
Shrimp.
Cool. That's funny.
That's awesome.
He's like, who's there? Who goes there?
Get
Okay,
off my
go wide.
lawn.
I love seeing little friends in holes.
Yeah. They're
So
pretty
that
cool.
one I think was biologically created.
Yeah. So do the shrimp actually make those? Do you
I
think?
think they make them, yeah. I keep seeing these little circles.
Yeah, I see them too. Like,
That's weird.
yeah.
Something makes those, but I can't think of what. It looks like someone was like
Yeah, it just looks like...
right into the sediment. They're perfectly round.
Let's do a Doppler reset.
Okay.
So typically when we're going
Do you guys notice those circles right there?
Yeah, the
Are they
circles are
patterns?
really weird. I have no idea who makes those.
Yeah, someone is typing in asking, could the circles be from sea stars with more than 5 arms that are under the sand?
Um, no, there are no sea stars in the sand right there.
Mm,
It looks like holes. So a lot of different animals will make burrows in sediment here. Um, but I've never seen a burrow quite like this. It could be types of worms that do that. Um, but I am not sure. It's a new one for me.
So what's our upslope speed? What's our ship speed?
I was going 0.2, but we can
Okay.
go a little faster.
Um, well, I don't, it's a balance, right? Like I
Right,
was
yeah, because
saying
like
with,
if it gets interesting, then we can't stop.
yeah,
But I made a 40-meter move.
okay. I think you can keep the moves coming.
Okay.
Um,
Yeah, you should start
it looks like
feeling
there's,
it.
yeah, it looks like the ship's got 7 meters left to go.
Mm-hmm.
And yeah, Atalanta's starting to move.
Yeah, it might be a while again before we get to rocks.
Oh yeah.
I don't know, it's just my feeling.
Yeah, cool.
These types of, like, since we're kind of on the lee side of the island, it's going to be more sedimenty.
Oh, that makes sense. Okay. Do we have anything really steep coming up?
It will start to get steeper.
Okay.
I think that rocky outcrop was the only thing in that area.
Okay.
But as we head towards waypoint 3, it should get steeper and steeper.
Okay.
We could look at that Nematocarcinus strip.
Okay. Yeah, we sure can.
Oh, and there's like a little peach fuzz that might be
Yeah.
in an